Hello, making a video on chronic illness, turning illness into gold, or lessons or blessings of chronic illness. I did make one. It was very long, 24 minutes. I went on and on. I mean, I could share that with people too, but I don't think you want to listen to me for, maybe you do. Anyway, so share a bit about me, I guess, to start with. I have dealt with depression on and off since I was a child. I believe there was sexual abuse in my past. I've had anxiety off and on for years as well. Kind of been a nail biter since I was a child, and the last few years had dealt with extremely intense anxiety attacks that have really worn me out and done a number in my digestive system. And now I'm dealing with chronic fatigue some days. So it's kind of been a long haul for me, and it's pushed me to learn and study and help myself, because I didn't really find much help through the traditional medical system, even though I did go that way. And even tried a couple of different medications, 3 actually. One, an antifungal, anti-anxiety, and anyway, none of them actually done me any good as far as I can tell. Most of my help has come from energy medicines and nutrition. So, blessings of chronic illness, that's a bit about me. So in this journey, which has been about 15 years of really learning healing for me, I have learned a lot about healing and myself, and been forced to be alone, in my own space a lot, like at home a lot, because I wasn't able to work, or had trouble holding on to a job, or had pain in my feet or whatever because of my health problems, So I've been at home a lot, I've been poor a lot, and I've been single a lot, like for almost a decade, several times. So I had a lot of time to study and meditate and read a lot of books. These days I meditate more than I read, but for a long time I read a lot. I read a lot of Eckhart Tolle, various spiritual teachers, a lot of nutrition, so on. I don't know how much you want to know about me, so I'm going to move on from that. But what I've learned but I've learned to be really grateful, actually, in some ways, for my illnesses over the years, because I've seen the people around me and how they've lived their life. And, there's been at times a lot of desire to, go to Burning Man or do the things that I see my friends doing, where they, go to festivals in the summer and go to Hawaii in the winter or whatever, and have a nice place and a car, and all these things that I've never really had. I've done some festivals, but it's never been, it's mostly been me being poor and me working out my issues and, just trying one thing after another for years, and trying different diets and trying to understand nutrition. It's freaking confusing. I'm pretty clear on it now, but I'm still learning stuff, and that's been 10 years of learning nutrition. So, in watching other people, I've become pretty grateful, sort of like watching people in their relationships. I've become grateful that I'll hear a friend talking about their relationship, and I'll be like, wow, I'm glad I'm single, because I don't have that stress that they have, Relationships, from what I hear, there's a lot of drama and pain in them. And similarly, if you don't have a chronic illness and you can just, get out of high school or college, you can just get out of high school or college or whatever and go right into a good paying job, like some people do, you may not have any motivation to slow down and really look at your life, and look at life and really ask yourself, what is life for? What should I be doing? Am I, because it's easy to just, especially I think if you're a physically attractive, maybe this is just my own ideas, but I think if we're like a physically attractive person and we flow into a job that pays well and we don't really have any major health conditions go on, that kind of thing, so everything kind of works out, we got money, we got health, we got love, then that kind of allow us maybe to stay on the surface of our life and not really force us to go deep. We don't have to go deep. We can just spend our summers going to India and going to wherever, and let's do all these things, let's explore that outer world, the physical world outside of us. And it's can be kind of a shame, because you never really explore the inner world. You never really find out that there's actually a wealth inside you of love, and bliss and exquisite sensitivity is possible for a human being. And just amazing, there's an inner adventure that is so incredibly rich and can be so incredibly expansive. And if life is really easy, you may never go there. So So I'll just list off a few of the things that I've noticed about turning illness into gold, or the blessings of illness. So one thing is, Eckhart Tolle really summed it up really well. He said that people with a heavy pain body, people who have a more heavy pain body, he said, sometimes wake up sooner, which I think is really true. Could be true. It means that if you have a lot of pain, emotional depression or physical pain or whatever it is, that could motivate you to actually do the work, of meditating and healing yourself and waking up, transcending or transforming that condition. And so where just like I said, other people who are going surfing through their life on the surface, you've really gone deep, and you've actually, because people that go on the surface of life too, they have health conditions too. Of course, they have relationship difficulties and little things they tolerate, and little niggly health issues that they may tolerate. But until it gets really bad, people often don't really face off with their health conditions. They often don't really make the changes and get serious. But once you do make the changes and get serious, you can find out that, oh my God, I'm feeling amazing now. I didn't realize I could feel this good. I got so much energy now. My sleep is so amazing. And not only did I transform the health conditions, but now I get all these other benefits. I sleep better than I realized than I thought I could sleep. I have more energy than I thought I could ever have. I have more clarity of mind than I thought was possible. If you watch the movie Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead, I think, with Joe Cross, Australian guy who decides one day he's going to get a handle on his health. He's going to lose his beer gut. He had a pretty big beer gut, and he's going to do it by juicing. So he puts a juicer in his trunk, and he goes across the country, and he juices for 30 days or 60 days or something. And he does it. He loses his gut. He gets healthy. It's a pretty hardcore way of going healthy. But in the end, he said one thing that really surprised him is his mind was so clear. And he never realized that. He thought he would lose the weight, but he had no idea that his mental clarity would be so much better, 5 times better or something. And it helped him after that to create new businesses and just, he would never, so for him, in a way, the weight was a blessing because it got him onto really being truly healthy. So it's like our problems sometimes that we get in our life as our karma or whatever it is, when we flip them, we get the other side, and we get we get the other side. We get these incredible gifts that were inside of that illness, if you like, inside of those problems. Maybe the problem that you flip is a relationship issue. And when you get the gift, you become someone who can really help people with their relationships. And you really also are someone who can have great love and intimacy in your relationships because you flipped that problem. You had it real bad, and you flipped it, you did the work, and now you have a great relationship. And you're able to not only lead your own relationship in a great way, but you're able to lead culture in a great way. You're able to be a leader and a light to the people around you. And I think that actually happens psychically, just it radiates our energy, our mental qualities, and the qualities we've developed radiate out of us into, the noosphere, the mind of all people, whether or not you're speaking and teaching on these subjects or not. You're having a psychic effect of helping make that choice easier for others. I think that's true anyway. Looking at my list here, health is wealth. Yeah, so chronic illness can teach you that actually health is the true wealth. It's not really money. We want to have financial abundance. I believe we're here to be wealthy. Abundance, or rather, nature is wealthy. The world is abundant. So if we're not wealthy, we're kind of not living in truth. And I've not lived in truth for a long time, but that's because there's karma and stuff to work out, in our lives. So today, though, people think that wealth is this, image, this idealistic image they have of having the big house and, ability to have a car and a boat or whatever, a summer home maybe. But really, what you find when you flip your health conditions is that health is the true wealth. It's you can feel so amazing, and many people don't realize that. So health is the true wealth, and when you find that health is the true wealth, when you start to feel that good, you discover that actually health is first. Health is, I think our health is our very first priority. It's within it is spiritual is your spiritual health, your awakening is within it. Within it is your emotional health, which is your love and your relationships. Within it is everything. It's like, there's a great saying that I've always loved, which is, seek first the kingdom and all things shall be added unto you, from the Bible. So that one I think that's what it's really about. It's like, seek first the kingdom, and the kingdom is within. So there you go. Another one, health, especially poverty, being poor, can teach us that our needs are actually very little. So this is something that I keep in mind, that my own teacher has repeated a few times, and it really has helped me to see that I'm more free than I realize, because I don't really need as much as I think in a physical way. We do need stuff. So I've realized that it's really about not having a lot of stuff, it's about having the right stuff. You want to have the right food for you. If you need to be gluten-free or grain-free, then you need to be gluten-free or grain-free. You need to know what you are going to eat that is good for you. You need to have the right relationships. You don't want to be, you might be better off living alone if you're not living with, if you can't find people who actually are the people you should be living with. People who have similar values as you, like fellowship, we call it, where you've got, and when it's energizing to talk to your roommates or your friends because they have similar values and they share enthusiasm and they believe in what you believe. So that's having the right things. I'm going to write, and I'm actually writing. I'm sorry for this. My computer keeps going dark on me. I got to fix that. So there's having the right things. And by the way, these are all things I'm going to be writing up as blog posts because they are, each one of them is kind of rich in themselves. So I'm starting to turn all these gems into blog posts of their own for myself to clarify the truths in these ideas, as well as for my readers on my site, Evolve Our Wellness. So needs are very little. That was one. And poverty can kind of teach you that. It can teach you to become free. It can teach you to know what you need and know what you don't need. And through that, you become free. You become a person who looks critically at everything you buy, and everything that's given to you. And you learn that when you have something you don't really need, it just weighs you down. You have to store it. You have to maintain it. If it's like a car, you have to clean it or whatever. So, you learn to just have only what you need and what enhances and brings joy to your life. You learn to see through materialism. So materialism is like the way our world, it's the consciousness of our world today, largely. It's like a world that's very materialistic. And poverty, which goes often with serious illness, helps us to see through the illusion of materialism, of thinking that, just like I said before, that stuff is happiness, and it's really, because it's really not. So another one is you learn to listen to yourself. Health forces you to put attention in your body instead of out there. It forces you to pay attention to yourself and to listen to your body, because really what I'm learning is that it doesn't matter how awesome your teacher is, doesn't matter how awesome your health coach is, doesn't matter how great your doctor is. The fact is, it's actually your own intuition, your own inner knowing that can lead you to what's right for you, to your next steps, and to the foods that's right for you, the activities that's right for you. You have to learn to pay attention. Illness teaches you to pay attention, and poverty and problems teach you to pay attention to yourself and your own, what feels right to you and what feels good to you. Because, I go to Eckhart Tolle again. He said, noticing what has a deep sense of feeling good and feeling right, because that is what is right for you. That's your intuition speaking. And that's not what feels good in terms of an emotional feeling of goodness, but when you're in a state of stillness and you're contemplating your choices, which of them, when you imagine yourself in it, feels good and feels deeply right and has a sense of power and peace? And that is what's right for you. That will be what's right. So that's a whole topic of intuition that I'm going on in other videos and other blog posts. I got to learn how to say less in these videos. I don't know how to do that yet. Another one is, so you learn to listen to yourself. and you learn that no one else really knows what you need, and that's really huge, really huge. Another one is you learn your abilities. So even because if you're like disabled, or say you're on disability, or you're thinking of yourself as a person who has some limitations, and people are seeing you that way, it can be easy to kind of have the label put on you of, oh, you're disabled, I'm disabled, or oh, I can't do that, I can't do that, I can't do that, I can't work a full-time job, whatever it is. But you learn through that to actually begin to focus on what you can do and what the abilities that you do have, because you need to make money and you want to have a family contribution and you want to be appreciated for something, loved, appreciated for something in your community. So the way you do that is you need to actually take something you are good at and turn it into, cultivate that talent. Because though you may be born with the talent, you still have to practice and maybe study and develop that ability to the point that you actually have some kind of output. You have some kind of creative expression that you can actually is a way of serving other people, and then you get paid. So you also get the reward of pay. So the other day I read about a guy who in a wheelchair, and I think he can only move his eyes or something. And he wrote some blogs, and they got really well respected. And he got a huge membership, a huge following. And he started to then sell advertising on his blog or something, or sell a book he wrote or something. Anyway, the guy can only move his eyes, and he's now living in like Mexico in a house of his own, and he's financially wealthy, and he did it from blogging. But he's good at blogging. He's a great writer. His blog is amazing. So you find your ability. You only need one. That's the cool part. So just my last notes are that inner development is a blast. Inner healing, inner development, which is healing yourself, is a blast. And many people avoid it because they don't have to go there. And it can be scary, to meditate a lot or whatever. People are scared of it. They're afraid of what they're going to find inside themselves. They've been told that we're all sinners, and their parents might have told them they're selfish over and over, and they're afraid of what they might find inside. They don't necessarily know the truth that we're actually made in the image of God, and you are love, you are goodness itself. You can't be anything else. Anything else is energy that you're channeling, and it's coming from outside you. So now personally, I'm in a place where I still have health conditions. I still work on them every day, and I'm still learning all the time. But I'm now in a place where I have found my voice. I have a lot to give, a lot to share, and I feel that I'm moving into a role of transforming culture by putting up videos like this one, and my message is getting clearer, and I actually have so many, I can now see myself doing so many things that I have to be careful to choose which one. And I might just take a bartending course, because I just want a simple life, and that sounds like fun to me. So, and then I'll work on my bigger projects around that, in my free time. So that's my chat. If you got any suggestions for how I can make this shorter, I'd really appreciate it. Or if this length was perfect, I'd love to hear that too. I'd love to hear your comments. I have a lot more content on my website. I have videos on YouTube as well. Some of them are great quality, some are lower quality. I was just intent on getting them out there instead of getting them out there perfectly. I just refine them later kind of thing. And there's some pages on my site. They're not so easy to find, but I'm working on organizing that so they're easier to find. The one called Some Truths About Healing is pretty cool, I think. You'll find the link to that one on the top of the resources page on my site. And I recently created a page called Vision, and that's the vision I have for that site and kind of the topics I'll be writing about more in the future. And I think I'm going to be inviting other people to write about them too, because I don't want to do it all myself, but I want this resource to be there for people. A website that shares about the life mastery skills, what I'm calling life mastery skills, and especially the most essential ones that we all should be learning, which means skills like nutrition, skills like meditation, skills like relationship skills, and skills like feng shui, and just especially the things that help us to heal and make more money and get the people that are dealing with poverty and illness into having some cash and having some health, so that then they can go to the next level of like actually investing in a course. So through my website, I may create courses or sell courses. And the first level so what I'm seeing is, I guess I'll finish this off. The first level of my site will be free content I think, or cheap. And then the next level will be like first level of courses, and you'll pay for those. And the next level of course will be more money. So it's like, if you can't afford much, you still get a course, and it helps you get to a point where you can afford the next course. And I think education is going that way. It's going into, we'll give you the first level for free, and then you'll find out that we're awesome, and we'll help you out, and then you can come back to us and pay for the next level of training. And in this way we're helping everybody out, we're helping everything move forward, and nobody is left behind, no matter how sick or how poor. And this is one of the great blessings of the internet, is that it's you can watch webinars for free in your room now, and you can learn from the best speakers, the best teachers, wherever you are. You don't even have to leave your bedroom. So you can be on disability and be doing it on your cell phone, learning like the most leading edge medicine. Why go to university? Like, you got to commute and all that other stuff. So that's my blog on turning illness into gold. Hope you enjoyed it. Leave me a comment, and I will catch you later.